Mr. Speaker.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed officers of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your pen and favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important tasks in this republic. Pray your blessings descend upon us assembled, and glad that we treat and consider all matters thus come under our deliberation in so just and faithful manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
All members, welcome to today's sitting. Today being Thursday, 29 February 2024 at 9 a.m. I now elect the clerk at the table to take us through the orders of the day. Mr. Speaker, sir. Order number 1, administration of order. Next order. Order number 2, communications from the chair. Honorable members, I want to remind you that this is a house of honor and house of law and order. I expect that at all the time we observe our standing orders. More importantly, standing order number 99, which states that when the speaker licenses members to be on silent and freeze. Standing order number 100, that every member shall board the chair in passing to or from his or her seat or close to the floor. Standing order number 101, that except when passing to and from his or her seat or when speaking, every member when in the chamber shall be seated. And lastly, standing order number 102. All of the members, as I said, this is house of honor, and we must, as honor members, observe these standing orders which will write us as we do. Next order. Order number 3, messages. Next. Order number 4, petitions. Next order. Order number 5, papers. Next.
6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next.
Order number 8, motion removal from office of Kisii County Government by Honorable Wycliffe Social Bisongori MCA. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 21st February 2024 at 10 a.m.
Honorable members, as you are aware, last week on 21st February 2024, the House passed a motion for the adjournment of debate on the motion for the removal from office of the Deputy Governor of Kisii County Government, His Excellency Dr. Robert Ozalemon, of impeachment to allow public participation pursuant to Article 1 and 6 of the Constitution. Members, the public participation exercise was concluded and the report was tabled in this House yesterday. That debate. Honorable members, as the Speaker, I allow the mover to read his motion for the sake of the respondent, because when he moved the motion, the Deputy Governor was not present, and for that purpose, I directed the mover to read this motion so that the Deputy Governor may get what was the content of that. The mover.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Cognizant of the provisions of Article 181, subsection 1, A and C of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, that lays down the grounds upon which a county deputy governor may be removed from office of the deputy governor by way of impeachment, as read together with the procedure laid down under Section 33 of the County Government Act, and as further read together with standing orders number 60, one of the Kisii County Assembly standing orders, and whereas that Article 10 is read together with Article 73, 74, 75, and 232 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, provides for accountability for state officers to the public for decisions and actions as a key guiding principle of leadership and integrity. Further aware that Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and the 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act provides for the General Leadership and Integrity Code to breach of public trust, failing to carry out duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office to unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct the duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Articles 27, 72, and 232, and practicing favorism and engaging in corrupt or unethical practices, person, and further aware, Mr. Speaker, that Section 11, subsection 1, subsection 2A1C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act, Mr. Speaker, that provides that a public officer to improperly enrich himself or out of the public officer's duties, and shall not for the personal benefit of himself or another use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duties. Mr. Speaker, I'm further aware that Section 6, subsection 1A, C, and subsection 2 and 3 of the Bribery Act that provides a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if a person requests, agrees, and receives a financial or other advantage that a relevant function or activity be performed in bribery by that person receiving the bribe and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for or agreeing to receive or accepting a financial or another advantage and activity is performed in bribery by that person or another person. Mr. Speaker, further aware that the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, has duly failed to uphold the oath of office and instead he has grossly violated the Constitution of Kenya and has abused the office and his conduct is wanting. Mr. Speaker, the County Assembly now resolves to remove Honorable Dr. Robert Onsare Monda from the office of the County Deputy Governor of Kisii by way of impeachment pursuant to Article 181, subsection 1, A and C of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 33 of the County and the County Assembly Standing Orders number 61 as read together with Standing Order number 60 on the following grounds. Mr. Speaker, ground 1 is gross violation of the Constitution or another law. Mr. Speaker, whereas Article 179, subsection 4, first Deputy Chief Executive power on the Deputy Governor, and whereas in consideration of the provisions of Article 10 and Article 73, subsection 1, Roman 3 and 4 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, insofar as it connotes to the manner in which a state officer is expected to exercise assigned authority, Article 75, subsection 1 of the Constitution, as read together with sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and sections 9, 11, subsection 1, subsection 2A and 1C of the Public Officer Ethics Act obligates a state officer to behave in all senses in a manner that is devoid of compromising public or official interest in favor of a personal interest. The Deputy Governor, action of requesting for a bribe, receiving a bribe, is meant to compromise the integrity of the recruitment institution of WASCO, and the same is driven by nepotism, favorism, improper and ulterior motives, and for of the provisions of Article 1, Article 7, Article 73, subsection 2C, requesting and receiving a bribe of 800,000 Kenya shillings is in breach of the provisions of Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya, which obligates public officers to observe the values and principles of public service that include high standards of professional ethics, fair competition, and merits. Article 73, subsection 2B, Mr. Speaker, of the Constitution of Kenya requires all state officers to be accountable to the public for their decisions and actions. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Onsare, violated Articles 10, 73, 75, and 232 of the Constitution, which bind state officers while discharging their duties in offices entirely. Mr. Speaker, the Kisii Water and Sanitation Company, WASCO, advertised for various job vacancies in April 2023, and the same Deputy Governor alerted Dennis Mokai's father that he could secure his son a job
upon paying a price of Kenya shillings 800,000 shillings only upon his shortlisting and being interviewed for the post. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor used his office to improperly confer a benefit to himself. He solicited a sum of Kenya shillings 800,000 from one Dennis Mokaya and his family in the pretext to secure him a job for the said post of a commercial manager of WASCO, an entity of Kisii County government. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor received a total sum of Kenya shillings 799,000 through M-Pesa platforms as follows. The first tranche was on 28 May 2023, and it was a sum of Kenya shillings 249,000. It was sent in three tranches of Kenya shillings. Tranche 1 was 150,000. Tranche 2 was 39,000, and tranche 3 was 50,000 by one Dennis Mukai on telephone number 0725 487300 to the Deputy Governor's Safaricom line PIN 0711 860700, and the second one was Kenya shillings 250,000 to the Deputy Governor's Safaricom line PIN 0711 860700, and the last tranche, which was in the sum of Kenya shillings 300,000, which was delivered to his office in Busi Stadium in cash. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor, in an attempt to influence the award of a contract of employment to Dennis Mokaya, the Deputy Governor sent via M-Pesa a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000 to the Managing Director of WASCO in order to influence her to employ the said Dennis Mokaya, which request was not acceded to by the Managing Director WASCO, and the money returned via M-Pesa to the Deputy Governor. While realizing that the Deputy Chief Executive Authority facing the Deputy Governor, was there a need for the Deputy Governor to grace the palms of the Managing Director of WASCO to give Dennis Mukaya the said post? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Dennis Mukaya complained to the County Assembly to intervene in its oversight capacity. Mr. Dennis Mukaya thereafter registered a complaint and recorded a statement with EACC and submitted, among other documents, the advertisement from WASCO on the vacant post to be filled, his letter of application for the job, the invitation letter from WASCO to attend the interview, and his M-Pesa statement for the month of May 2023, detailing the transfer of Kenya shillings 249,000 to the Deputy Governor. Mr. Speaker, despite this huge payment made, Mr. Dennis Mukaya and his family never secured the job. On informing the Deputy Governor that he will be forced to make a formal complaint with the Anti-Corruption Commission on the matter, the latter threatened his life and of his family. Consequently, it forced the former to go into hiding. Mr. Speaker, ground 2, abuse of office. The actions of the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Robert Tumsare Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 800,000 shillings only, thereby conferring a financial benefit on himself, and subsequently sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to WASCO Managing Director so as to influence the award of the contract of employment to preferred interviewee. He has abused the office of the Deputy Governor and is in breach of Articles 73 and 75 of the Constitution of Kenya. Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 24, 32, 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act by breach of public trust, failing to carry out the duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office to unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct the duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Articles 10, 27, 73 to subsection 2b and 232 of the Constitution of Kenya, and practicing favorism and engaging in corrupt or unethical practices and engaging in actions that bully a person. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor is in violation of Section 11, subsection 1, subsection 2A1C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act that provides a public officer shall not use his office to improperly enrich himself or others, and shall not accept favors from a person who has an interest that may be affected by the carrying out of a public officer's duty for the personal benefit of himself or another, use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duty, as well as Section 6, subsection 1A, C, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the Bribery Act that provides a the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a intending that a relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for, agreeing to receive, or accepting a financial or other advantage, an activity is performed improperly by that person or another person. Mr. Speaker, he unilaterally used the office to intimidate and cow his family into hiding, fearing for their lives in contravention of Section 34 of the Integrity Act 2012. Mr. Speaker, in furtherance of office of the Governor has continuously diverted county enforcement officers from their course of duty to work in his farm, a portion of land allocated to him by his father. Since he came into office, there has been at least 5 officers working in the farm, a clear demonstration that the Deputy Executive in Chief is misusing the staff of the county. Mr. Speaker, on the 20th December 2023, the Deputy Executive in Chief deployed a contingent of about 20 county officers under the supervision of the sub-county administrator to arrest his brother, one Ruben Monda Orangi Matundura, for cutting down trees that his brother Ruben Monda Orangi had planted. In exercise of his executive power, the Deputy Executive in Chief ensured his handcuffed brother was smuggled into a police vehicle and was incarcerated in Kiambu Police Station for 3 hours without an occurrence booking. At 18:30 hours, the OCS denied the sick Ruben Monda Orangi, who suffers from high blood pressure and diabetes, and he was immediately transferred to Kisii Central Police Station. Mr. Speaker, at the Kisii Central Police Station, the helpless Ruben Monda Orangi was further detained without a booking on the OP and without the option of bail or bond pending presentation to court. The sickly Monda Orangi had to be rushed to the hospital for an urgent medical intervention. However, on reaching the hospital, Ruben Monda Orangi was never attended to by any doctors, as the OCS Central Police Station received instructions to immediately take him back to the police station. With his condition now deteriorating, Ruben Monda Orangi was fed back to the police station until at around 20 minutes past midnight, where he was issued with a cash bill of Kenya shillings 30,000 The medical condition of the old man, Mr. Speaker, deteriorated to the extent that he was hospitalized in Coptic Hospital for about 3 weeks, and since then, he has been on injected insulin, a condition that was never there before. Mr. Speaker, ground 3, gross misconduct. The deputy governor interfered with the appointment of the vacant position of the commercial manager of WASCO by attempting to pay the managing director a sum of the managing director, Ms. Rusi Waito Washira, a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000. This was in the month of May 2023. This act contravened Act 75 of the Constitution of Kenya. The deputy governor's engagement confers under complicity behavior points down to gross misconduct and gross abuse of his office. Mr. Speaker, round 4, crimes under national law. The governor, His Excellency Robert Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 800,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit on himself, is sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to WASCO Managing Director, so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interviewee, is in violation of Section 6, subsection 1A, C, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the Bribery Act, that provides a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, intending that a relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for, for accepting a financial or other improperly by that person or another person. Mr. Speaker, allow me to quickly go through the evidence that is attached to my motion. And on page 1, I met one Dennis Mokaya in a function. He formally did a complaint to me. Later, I advised him to do a formal complaint to me. And it is on the front page. Listen. And the letter was reading like this, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, point of order already.
Honorable Speaker, I have heard Honorable Siocha refer to a bundle of documents. And Honorable Speaker, in this house, we have not been supplied with documents. And for us to be able to transact this motion is contemplated under Standing Order number 64, paragraph 3, Honorable Speaker, and of course, Standing Order number 64, 1 and 63. Honorable Speaker, we require the documents, both that the mover is relying to move his motion together with the document of the respondent. Because, Honorable Speaker, it will become very difficult for us to ascertain the allegations that are being moved by Honorable Siocha, if we have no documents of reference, so that we can also be able to see whether we are in concurrence with the matters is trying to transact in this house, Honorable Speaker. And I beg, Honorable Speaker, that you direct the clerks to supply us with copies of those documents, so that then they can be very useful as we begin to deliberate on this motion.
Honorable Nderi, I think the mover is tabling the evidence, and you see, order. Let the mover finish, then we'll move to the next level. I know all our members, and then you were yesterday, so it is from my discretion to give the mover time to speak.
So let him finish. As you are getting the evidence, order. Honor members, order. Honor members, order. It is your right. Honor members. Let me, honor members, get guided properly. The clerk at the table, make sure that you get the copies as we move on. Order. Honorable Lydian, order. Proceed. Order. Let him finish. Proceed and finish. Order. Honorable Lydian, I am giving you time to contribute. Order. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The letter was addressed to me by one Dennis Misati of address PO Box 2824, zip code 4200, Kisii, dated 19th December 2023. It was dated complaint against the His Excellency Deputy Governor, County Government of Kisii. I'm writing this letter to inform you as a follow-up to my brief discussion with you over a complaint I have against His Excellency Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor, County Government of Kisii. The brief facts are that in April last year, 2023, my father relayed some information he had received from the Deputy Governor about an advert on WhatsApp website about the job vacancies. The Deputy Governor made emphasis to my father that I should scout on the WhatsApp website for the advertisement. And on 21st April 2023, I downloaded the advert and applied. Mr. Speaker, it further reads, being a qualified candidate, I applied for the position of commercial manager, and I received an invitation through my email address to attend an interview at WASCO board office. I appeared before the WASCO board members. The outcome within 2 to 3 weeks. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Robert Monda, who is a close family friend and former close to my father before joining the county, had given his indication that he could assist me in securing the job upon payment of a small fee of Kenya shillings 800,000, as he has a close friend in the person of the managing director, one Lucy Waito, who can assist. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Robert Monda, called us to his home within days of being informed by my father about the post and before the interview was carried out. We had a brief meeting over the matter whereby he told us that the job is guaranteed, but we have to pay something to the managing director for the board members to help us out. He asked us to raise the sum of Kenya shillings 800,000 in order to have the job guaranteed. He gave a sum of Kenya shillings. We gave a sum of Kenya shillings 799,000 to the Deputy Governor as follows: Kenya shillings 150 paid on 28 May 2023 through my Safaricom line 07 25 48 0 to His Excellency Deputy Governor Robert Monda, Safaricom line 07 86 11 86 0700 at 20:33 p.m. Kenya shillings 49,000 on 28 May 2023 through my Safaricom line 07 25 48 7300 to His Excellency Deputy Governor Robert Monda, Safaricom line 07 86 0700 at 8:37 p.m. Kenya shillings 50,000 on 28 May 2023 through my Safaricom line again 0725 487300 to His Excellency Deputy Governor Robert Monda, Safaricom line 0711 860700 at 8:43 p.m. Kenya shillings 250 through my father's Safaricom line to Robert MONDA'S Safaricom line, and Kenya shillings 300,000 given to him by myself in the presence of my father. I voluntarily gave the money because I believed I'd get a job because of his position as the deputy governor and a family friend to my father for a long period of time. I have to date not received any communication from WASCO, despite having learned that the recruitment was done and position filled up. On making follow-up with the deputy governor, Dr. Robert Monda, he said he is in talking terms with the CEO, WASCO, and therefore I should be patient to be given upcoming positions. I attach the following documents in support of my complaint. One, the advertisement from my application for the job, which has been attached. Three, the email from WASCO to attend the interview, which he has attached. And four, M-Pesa statement for month of May 2023, showing transaction of Kenya shillings 249,000 from my Safaricom line to the Deputy Governor, Dr. Robert Monda. I have written to you because the Deputy Governor is acting with impunity. I believe that as a member of the County Assembly, you are in a position to assist me by disciplining him to the County Assembly. That is the letter I received from one Dennis Mukaya Misati, and it is signed by himself. Annexed, Mr. Speaker, at the investor statement, it happened within his lines and the lines of His Excellency, the Deputy Governor. Also, he gave me, or else he also attacked, that is Dennis Mukaya. He attacked this is the Ethics and the Corruption of Commission of Kenya, and and I was writing to them, and this is the content of the letter, and it is dated the above matter and to the report I made. You are always complaining against the conduct of the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, Dr. Robert, so do notify me. I am required to avail my witnesses. So the complaint is still at EFCC and nothing has been done. So, and then I have the evidence from one Ruben Monda Orangi Matundura, and it is, I don't know whether I'll be able to read through or paraphrase, but because of the answer, allow me to go through the evidence. I, Ruben Monda Orangi Matundura, who made oath and say as follows: that I am an adult male of sound mind, residing and working for gain at Kisii County. That I am of the holder of national identity card number 5826295 and a retired public officer. That the Deputy Governor of Kisii County is my blood brother, him being the fourth born and myself being his immediate follower. That my brother, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, has had a rough relationship with the family since acceding to being the Deputy Executive in Chief at the Kisii County, including briefing our this term is so ever for me to pronounce. Nonagenarian, further with the exception of that. Mr. Speaker, that the Deputy Governor has since ensured that there are at least 5 county officers stationed at our home, performing house, an aspect I strongly believe that is not part of their job description, but also spending the night. That my brother, the Deputy Governor of Kisii, has made it his business to ensure that our officers as his way. Since he came into office, there has been at least 5 of the executive in chief is misusing the staff of the county. That on the 20th December 2023, the Deputy Executive in Chief deployed a contingent of about 20 county officers under the supervision of the sub-county administrator to arrest me for cutting down trees that I had planted. Attached and marked is in the annex. Mr. Speaker, that my brother, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, went ahead to order the Deputy OCS, Keumbu Police Station, IP Muriuki, as well as the sub-county administrator, to effect the arrest immediately. I was handcuffed and pangled in the police vehicle and incarcerated in Keumbu Police Station for 3 hours without an occurrence book booking. Mr. Speaker, that at around 18:30 hours of the same day, the OCS Keumbu Police Station denied me bail and bond despite suffering from high blood pressure and diabetes, and was immediately transferred to Kisii Central Police Station. Attached and marked a copy of the video showing the aforementioned Mr. Ruben being transferred to the Kisii Police Station. Mr. Speaker, but at the Kisii Police Station, I was again detained without a booking on the OP and without the option of bail and all bond pending presentation to court, contrary to my rights as guaranteed by the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, that at one point I requested to be asked to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital for urgent medical intervention. However, on reaching the hospital, I was never attended to by any doctors as the OCS Kisii Central Police Station received instructions to immediately take me back to the police station. Mr. Speaker, that with my condition now deteriorating, I was paid back to the police station until 20 minutes past midnight, where I was issued with a cash bill of 30,000. Mr. Speaker, that my medical condition deteriorated to the extent that I was hospitalized in Koptic Hospital for about 3 weeks, and since then I've been on injected insulin in a condition that was not there before. And finally, that Mr. Speaker, that what is deponed to herein is true and the best of my knowledge, information, and belief, save as to the matters proposed on information and belief sources whereof of the grounds whereupon have been deposed and disclosed. It is sworn and signed by one Ruben Monda Orani Matundura. Also, as part of the evidence attached is a statement from one, the Chief Executive Officer for the WASCO, Waitu, of ID number 21272406, of telephone number 0724 616288, of postal address at 840 Kisii Town, nearest primary school, Skiamabundu, police station, Yanchua. And this reads the statement, Mr. Speaker. I am the above named Kenyan female adult of sound mind and the managing director of the Kisii Water and Sanitation Company. I wish to state as follows. The Kisii Water and Sanitation Company Limited, WASCO, is a water and sanitation service provider in Kisii and Nyamira counties of Kenya. The company was established in 2006 and is responsible for the provision of water and sanitation services to the residents of the two counties. It is jointly owned by the county government of Kisii and Nyamira. The company is registered under the Companies Act laws of Kenya and managed by a board of directors comprising of 2 committee executive members from each of the constituent counties and 5 independent members. I also sit in the board. The board, in exercise of its powers in the month of April 2023, advertised for 4 management positions at foreign faculty, namely commercial manager, 1 post, internal auditor, 1 post, manager, 1 post, and procurement manager, 1 post. Inviting qualified persons to send the applications via email to reach the managing director on or before 28 April 2023. Mr. Speaker, it further reads that prior to shortlisting candidates, the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, approached me saying that he had a candidate whom he wanted me to assist in securing the position of a commercial manager. Mr. Speaker, after receiving applications from interested persons, the board shortlisted commercial manager, and invited them for interviews on 15th of May 2023 as follows. Bojani Ongara, female Kisii County, 10 a.m. Mercy Fahati Mziri, female Makueni County, 10:30 a.m. Okoyo Isaac Aluado, male, 11 a.m. Dennis Mokaya Misati, male Kisii. Victor Mochoge Nyarega, male, 12:30 p.m. Mosoti Peter Omoro Uchuka, male, at 2 p.m. Mr. Speaker, it further reads that on 28th May 2023, at around 13 p.m., that is 9:24 p.m., I received an MPS message from 100,000 through my Safaricom line ping 0724616288 from one Robert Mona of telephone number 0711860700. I checked the line. That is the line she checked was 0711860700, and confirmed it to be the number of our Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Osare Monda. Mr. Speaker, it further reads that on the morning of 9th May 2023, I called the Deputy Governor and asked him what the money was for, and he kept quiet. I asked him to reverse the money, which he did not reverse, as I had requested, and therefore returned the money from my Safaricom line, being 0724616288, on 30th May 2023 to the Deputy Governor Safaricom line of 0711860700. Mr. Speaker, it further reads the recruitment process went on smoothly, with the best candidate being taken. The Deputy Governor's candidate was not successful as he came a distant fifth and could therefore not be taken on the merits. I am aware that the said Dennis Mukaya, the Deputy Governor's interested candidate, has since made a complaint on this matter to the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, for investigations. I have been summoned and asked to make a statement as to what I know over the subject matter. I have attached the following supportive documents. They are marked, and that is all. And this is the statement that was recorded by one Lucy Waito at EACC. And she has attached the M-Pesa statement detailing the transfer of the money from the Deputy Governor's telephone number to his number, and from his telephone number back to the telephone number of the Deputy. We also have the ID number signed by Dennis Mokaya, and then we also have the WASCO advert and the itinerary for interviews attached also, Mr. Speaker. And also attached is the advert that was pressed on the daily on the Daily Nation that was declaring those vacancies and applying for those people who are interested to also make the applications. No, I'm done, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Yocha. Honorable members, let me confirm that His Excellency Honorable, let me confirm that honorable members have received the evidence on the same. Honorable members at the gallery, we have special visitors which you need to know. We have Katwa Kigen and his team for the defendant, who is the Honorable. Again, I think you are there, Wakili. Yes, and his team is for the defendant. And in the gallery we have Wakili Ndewa and his team for the mover. Wakili Ndewa, yes, thank you. You are most welcome. Honorable members, at this point now, I want to give honorable direction that as we are going to start contributing, let us give everyone each time or our time to contribute in silence. And honorable members, because affecting somebody's life and his family, let us not take it for granted that we just start joking with it. Kindly, let us be sober. Let us not bring side source. We are in a house of order, so that we deliberate in a sober manner. So at least I want to give each member, I will give time to speak, right, 2 minutes or so, such that we have everyone to contribute. Honorable Ismail, I know what I'm speaking, I'm the speaker. So honorable members, let us respect this, our standing orders, so that we start contributing. I now allow members to start contributing. Yes, inquiry.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that chance to inquire what I wanted to ask. Mr. Honorable Speaker, is it in order for this Honorable House to start contributing? Contributing meaning start looking for ways to judge this case. This is a case before us. The mover has brought forward his allegations. Now it is time for the defendant, Honorable Speaker, to defend himself before the House, and then we can now contribute before making a judgment in way of voting. I need guidance from the chair.
Honorable Ismail, I know what I am doing, I'm the speaker. It is time for members to give their remarks before I call the defendant to come. Yes, point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm to Honorable Matundura that you are right. You are right in your own way, understanding order number 64, which talks about priority of a motion. And Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I will read a motion for removal of the person. And this is what we are handling. A motion for removal of a person from office under this part shall take precedence over all other business order of the paper that day. And during the debate, any member may, with permission of the speaker and on giving adequate notice, produce additional evidence in support of the argument. But Honorable Speaker, what I'm interested is paragraph 3 of Standing Order 64, that when the speaker is satisfied that the motion has been adequately debated, then the speaker shall call upon the person who is being removed from office to answer the issues raised. Honorable Speaker, there it tells you the motion takes place, then you call in the person who is being accused. Honorable Speaker, I also hear the worry of Honorable Ishmael Matundura, that the evidence that we have here that has been supplied to us, only evidence of the mover, as we transact, Honorable Speaker, we have not received, because it is even in court, you can only make a genuine argument when you have evidence from both sides, Honorable Speaker. What was expected in this House, Honorable Speaker, is that when you wrote to the Deputy Governor to come and appear, you will have asked him to supply this House already with a written response, so that that written response becomes part of this House for purposes of argument, Honorable Speaker. It is going to be very difficult for us only to rely on the document presented by Honorable Sucha to transact this business. I know that is the word of Honorable Ishmael Matundura.
Thank you, Honorable Mondari. I think the Deputy Governor was given time, and it was on his discretion either to make a written submission. It was on his discretion. And only remember, as I started understanding order number 29, this was a resumption of the debate which was interrupted by that time. So, yes, Honorable Monda'S.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. And whereas you say, Mr. Speaker, it is a resumption, but at the time when the mover of the motion moved the motion, Mr. Speaker, you had not proposed the question. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, we had not started the debating. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, the standing orders are very clear as they have been read by Honorable Amos. And Mr. Speaker, we are supposed to debate before, Mr. Speaker, the accused can come and defend or give some evidence.
Yes, point of information.
Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm that I was in the House and you proposed a question the last time we were debating here.
Precisely, Honorable Monda'S, the question was proposed until the time when we adopted the motion for public participation and fair hearing. So everything was done in order. So proceed.
Mr. Speaker, then if that is the case, I'm also worried of what Honorable Ismail has said. And of course, the standing orders are very clear, Mr. Speaker, that we can debate until the time when you are satisfied, you can give the accused time also to have something to say and even produce evidence, Mr. Speaker. But indeed, how are we going to prosecute this case without the evidence or without the accused saying something, Mr. Speaker? We are worried. It is true, the standing orders are guiding us, but Mr. Speaker, now how are we going to debate? Because evidence has been given by the mover, but now, Mr. Speaker, we have not seen the defense by the accused. Therefore, we are just stranded somewhere, Mr. Speaker, because we will be arguing from one side, Mr. Speaker, not knowing the other side, the evidence they have, Mr. Speaker. That's why Honorable Amos and even Honorable Ondei, we are just stranded somewhere, Mr. Speaker. If we can get guidance, it will be possible for us to debate. Thank you.
Honorable members, let us be properly divided by our standing orders. Standing order number 64.3. When the speaker is satisfied that the motion, although let me start from 1. A motion for the removal of a person from office under this part shall be president over all other business on other paper for the day. 2. During the debate by member, any member may, with the permission of the speaker, on giving adequate notice, produce additional evidence in support of his or her arguments. 3. When the speaker is satisfied that the motion has been adequately debated, the speaker shall call upon the person who is being removed from office to answer issues raised in the debate, and thereafter call upon the mover of the motion to reply. Honorable members, let us not waste a lot of time on these procedural issues in our standing orders. Honorable Onderi, let me finish. The standing order is very clear and self-explanatory that when I am satisfied with the debate, that's the time now I will call the person being removed from office. And it is not upon us to tell the person being removed to bring the evidence for us. We have had the evidence from the mover. Let us discuss it. And at that late time, as our standing order, I'll call Honorable Ndegi, I will call the defendant to come and make his submissions. And after that, we will again continue to discuss after he has made his submissions. It is very clear. Yes, Honorable Bagaka. Honorable Amos, just put that one off. I think I have given you enough time and you have made your submissions. Honorable Bagaka.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for the ruling. And truth be told, this is a house of order and procedure, and the standing orders have guided us on what we are supposed to do as a house, and we cannot break the law. Honorable Speaker, the mover has argued this case based on fundamental parts of the Constitution, especially Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, that requires an officer, I may paraphrase it, that the Leadership and Integrity Act, Section 8, requires a state officer who is holding the state office in public trust to exercise the responsibility and authority vested in that office in the best interest of Kenya. And then I ask myself a question, if indeed it is true, because we'll have an opportunity to hear from the Deputy Governor, that the Deputy Governor, using his office, solicited, received, and passed a bribe to one MD for Wasco. And then I'm begging a question and asking myself as a member of County Assembly for Kisii West, because I have two people who come from Kisii County, His Excellency Dr. Monda, who is the Deputy Governor, and one Dennis Mokaya, who is a young man from Nyaribari, who was asked for 800,000 to be able to get a job that either he was qualified for or not, that he as a Kenyan and a Kisii man who is from this area had a right to get, if indeed he was qualified. Then I'm asking myself a question, should I defend His Excellency the Deputy Governor, who has a flag, who is a Deputy Governor who gets a sum of more than 800,000 in a month, or defend an innocent soul, a young man who is fending for his family and looking for a job to be able to get income to also one day become a Deputy Governor or something else? And I've looked at the material evidence that has been supplied by the mover, and I'm asking myself a question that I have not voted yes. I went to my ward, which is Kisii West, in a place called Nyachenge, where I have an office. I listened to the people who voted for me. They have heard, they have seen from the radios and from the media and from this particular county assembly that the motion before us is to impeach the Deputy Governor on account of gross misconduct, and especially a simple act of asking for a bribe. They have told me, if indeed the Deputy Governor does not convince me otherwise that he took the bribe, that I should vote for this motion to take him home. And I'm here today, and I know at the right time, the Deputy Governor or his lawyer will be able to have an opportunity to also explain his case. But then my biggest question as a person, after looking at the material evidence that was applied, I'm asking myself a question. This is a young man who comes from Nyaribari. He approached together with the father or the mother, the Deputy Governor, for a job. I don't know who came first, but what I'm asking myself a question. The Deputy Governor, through his phone, that I know also and his name, transacted money between him and Dennis Mokaya. Dennis Mokaya sent to him money, and we have a statement showing that. And immediately after receiving the money, not more than 40 minutes apart, he sent the sum of 100,000 to one Lucy, who is the MD for Wasco. If the Deputy Governor is able to convince me as a member of County Assembly from Kisii West that indeed he did not receive money from Dennis Mokaya, and he did not, in a span of 40 minutes, transfer an amount of 100,000 to Lucy, then I will be able to vote no. But if he is not able to convince me, because today, as a person who also goes to church, who represents people of Kisii West, who in terms of voting, they are registered voters of up to an amount of 14,000, and over 4,350 of them voted for me. They require me to uphold the Constitution because I swore by it when I joined this house. I am not here
having any personal reasons as to why I need the deputy governor to go home. Actually, I need him to continue working if it was so. That's why today, the biggest question for me that the deputy governor will be able to convince me at the end of this, before we vote, is why was he receiving money from a poor Kenyan, which was in the sum of up to 799,000? And why did he have to transfer that particular amount of money to Lucy? The moment he's able to connect those dots, then I'll be happy to be able to make a decision. But I want to ask that all of us this house, that we stand today to be counted. Let's not be swayed by who holds a bigger position than the other. We have a responsibility as leaders of Kisii County to stand by the truth. Extorts money from a poor Kenyan for purposes of enriching himself. When he already has a job, he has a job described in the constitution, which is a deputy governor, which is the second ranking position in this county. And then go ahead to get the whole sum of 800,000. I don't think that many Kisiis in this county can be able to raise a sum of 800,000 just to look for a job of a commercial manager in a certain organization. WASCO is a body that's under Kisii County. I believe that indeed, if the deputy governor for Kisii County took it upon himself, he was voted together with the governor. A lot of votes, 270-something thousand votes. These same Kenyans had aspirations, and they expected that the deputy governor and the governor's office in totality will stand firm and ensure poor Kenyans change their lives. Because as a county, we need one of our biggest issues if you have unemployment. It beats the knowledge that people must work today. They cannot have trust in the county where they elected a governor and a deputy governor, and they have to look for 800,000 or 500,000 for them to be able to get a job. It is our responsibility today, and I ask the House that as you consider this matter, if indeed through the material supplied by one Wycliffe Future, and I want to thank him, that indeed he has stood to what most people cannot do. It is not easy for you to defend the rights of these young men and women who are looking for jobs. I am a youth myself, and I do not expect that at my level, when I was looking for a job at the bank at the age of 35 or 31, that I would ask for a whole sum of 800,000. I want to ask this House as a deputy speaker and a member representing the people of Masigi West, that as you look through the evidence supplied, the material that are supplied to us, the motion of the mover, that you put the interest, your personal interest aside and work for the people of Kisii to analyze in this case. And indeed, with the deputy governor took unsolicited money from a poor Kenyan. The deputy governor is my personal friend, but Your Excellency, I will not defend you if indeed you took a bribe of 800,000 to assist a poor Kenyan who comes from your area. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Iriani, go on.
Honorable Speaker, I sincerely appreciate this opportunity to also make my contribution towards this very important motion before us. Allow me to start where we had stopped, and from the onset, I stand to oppose the motion. Honorable Speaker, you have witnessed a few minutes of a stalemate here until you gave a go-ahead. The stalemate is a testament that the process and the procedure has not been properly followed. If we had an ad hoc committee in place, the accused person would have had an opportunity to defend themselves, and therefore the ad hoc committee would have submitted to this House a report that would read. And I want to bring to your attention that Standing Order 64.3 is assuming that the process has been properly followed and we are at the tail end of the process. So now that it has not been properly followed, I stand to oppose and say that this House is supposed to follow law and order like you have properly guided us from the beginning, and therefore we should be kind enough to stand up to that which we swore and held the Constitution and said that we will defend the Constitution and not violate it willingly. The second issue I want to bring to your attention, Honorable Speaker, is a burden of proof. Before me, the only document I'm holding is a list of, I think I want to presume, shortlisting of commercial managers. This must be in relation to what a person who allegedly received the bribe confirmed. it's my observation that this thing has very little connection to the case that we are having right here. I expected a proof of receipt of payment. I also expected a proof of soliciting this bribe, because the allegation here is two: requisition and receipt. I want to submit to you, Honorable Speaker, that what Honorable Siocha, whom I honestly respect and has the guts to be able to defend a young person, did not prove to us that there was any requisition for this bribe. We have seen a demonstration of proof for M-Pesa statements. We look forward to an elaboration and further explanation on what really happens to those statements. And I want to agree with the Deputy Speaker that for sure, if it is proved that this is bribery, then all of us definitely we know how we will vote. The last thing, Honorable Speaker, I want to address myself to is the role of the Assembly. The Constitution is very clear. The County Government Act only gives honorable members 3 responsibilities. One of them is oversight. The second is legislation, and the last one is representation. While it is true that Honorable Siocha has been given responsibility through that distinguished person of this great county, we know from the evidence that he has produced that this thing has been submitted to a constitutional body, which is EACC. As Speaker, I would like us to ask ourselves, is it possible that we are taking the responsibility of EACC and discharging it within this assembly? So if the assembly has decided to become the investigative person, then we need to remind ourselves to stop doing legislation and start doing investigation. I submit my observation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Lydia.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the chance that you have given me to make my contribution on the motion that is before the House. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this motion. Honorable Speaker, Chapter 6 of the Constitution, it is a guiding principle for the state officers at the same time for the public officers, especially when discharging their duties at the same time to guide on their day-to-day conduct. Honorable Speaker, I have gone through this document, I've gone through this evidence, and I have noted the following. Number one, there is gross violation of the Constitution, and this one is captured clearly on page number 4, page number 5, paragraph 2, whereby you find the Deputy Governor was using the office for personal monetary gains. At the same time, he was making false pretense to obtain money from a poor Kenyan, which I cannot be able to stand on that. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, there is abuse of the office, and this one is captured clearly on page number 6, page number 7, and page number 8 for the document that we have. Paragraph 6 and paragraph 2, also paragraph 4, where you find the Deputy Governor received a bribe of 800,000 from a poor young man, pretending that he's going to secure a job for him. Up to date, up to now, as we speak, he has not secured the job for the poor young man. So I cannot defend the Deputy Governor for the code of conduct. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, there is gross misconduct, and this one is captured clearly on the documents that we have on page number 9, paragraph 2. Also, paragraph 2, where you find the Deputy Governor.
Few seconds.
Okay, where you find the Deputy Governor, he was engaging himself in some of the private activities, which is incompatible with the kind of office he is holding. Finally, Honorable Speaker, there is breach of leadership and integrity code. Therefore, the Deputy Governor has to take personal responsibility for his code of conduct and therefore serve as an example to the rest of the members in this county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Amos Mukaya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise to oppose the motion, and I oppose it because of the various reasons. First, Mr. Speaker, as my colleague, Honorable Leland, mentioned, sincerely, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the way this motion was introduced to this House, you find a lot of irregularities. For example, Mr. Speaker, while Honorable Sucha was giving us the notice of motion, you remember, he mentioned that 51 members of this county assembly signed in support of this motion. But Mr. Speaker, based on the evidence given by Honorable Sucha, I haven't seen the signatures of the people that supported this motion to come to this House. That is the first issue. Number two, Mr. Speaker, while looking at this motion, Mr. Speaker, and based on the notice of motion that was read here on 13th February, I find a lot of inconsistencies. Because, Mr. Speaker, when Honorable Siocha read the notice of motion, he mentioned a few areas of that maybe were prompting him to impeach the Honorable Deputy Governor. Some of them were, allow me to read, he mentioned a gross violation of the Constitution or another law, just that, without giving any detail. He then mentioned abuse of office, and then gross misconduct, and the last crimes under national law. He never gave any specifics, Mr. Speaker. But when you look at the motion, you find that Honorable Siocha is now introduced. I find that as a big gap. And number three, Mr. Speaker, when listening to Honorable Siocha, he is mentioning of receiving a letter from one Dennis Mukaya. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, I know Dennis as a person. We share a church. I'm wondering why, because at least I'm the closest person to Dennis. I'm wondering why you could go all the way to look for Mr. Siocha in a function so that he can complain to him of the deputy governor. And Mr. Speaker, our standing order number 194.
Order.
Mr. Speaker,
Order.
Standing order number 195 gives clear instructions on how petitions from the public should get to the assembly. Mr. Speaker, one Dennis Mukaya and one Matundura. Yes, those are public. And ideally, if they had complaints about the Honorable Deputy Governor, they could have written to the clerk. I wonder why they were writing to Honorable Siocha. And Mr. Speaker, looking at the evidence given, to me, I find no bribe given. Because what we only see, Mr. Speaker, just statements. Did Mr. Siocha prove that these were bribes? Because Mr. Honorable Siocha can even send to me an M-Pesa statement. How do you prove? How do you prove that money sent to me is a bribe? How do you prove money sent to the chief executive officer is a bribe? So I stand to oppose this motion, Mr. Speaker, and I request that for us maybe to get to be in a better position to explain this, I request that you give the Honorable Deputy Governor a chance to give his view so that we can further interrogate this.
Thank you. Honorable Kalen Magala. Okay, Honorable Siocha, point of information.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'm wishing to inform my good friend Ramos, because he has asked that I have not proved that this money that was sent was in connection with the property. Mr. Speaker, I want to put it on record on this house that all these transactions are taking place pending the interviewing process of those jobs that were advertised in Wasco. Mr. Speaker, it should pass every person that why, at a time when this young man has been given information to apply, we have seen money moving from donors to the deputy governor, and money.
I think those information are with us, so there's no need of.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, kindly proceed. Honorable, kindly proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I first of all, for purposes of my name is Karen Magara. I'm a special elect in this house. And I want to, first of all, before I respond to what I want to say, my honorable member, Honorable Lillian, has said that when we are in this house, we are only confined to three things. Our duties as our house is to legislate, oversight, and represent. I don't understand what representation therefore means when it's clearly distributed that those that cannot be able to access this house, we can be able to speak for them. So I am correcting that we don't not only do legislation alone and represent, but the interest of our electorates call upon us to take responsibility. Number two, I want to respond to Honorable Ramos. It doesn't matter. I don't know whether we have a given structure that a person can complain. I can complain in a market. I can complain in a church, so long as I feel that whatever I find in this church or in this public market, I is going to listen to me and therefore address my issue. So I'm only calling ourselves that let us restrain ourselves, because when we talk about representation, we are not only talking about stating in this house alone. It is meant for the those that are outside there. Now back to the motion, Honorable Speaker. I want first of all to underscore the purpose of morals. Even before I talk about integrity, before I talk about what I do as a person, I am first referring ourselves to morals. I am not standing here to judge the deputy governor. I am calling against myself and pleading with the members that indeed this is a very important motion before us, and that this requires a lot of sobriety. And therefore that emphasizes the point that I want to say that the Honorable Deputy Governor, when he shall be standing here, he shall be able to take us through the process and convince some of us that being a church elder, he cannot stoop too low to take a bribe. That is what I am calling about the members, that when he stands to speak and defend himself, he should be able to tell us, some of us will not be able to have 800,000 to bribe. An MCA salary is 86,000. When I stand here, and my child wants an employment, and I'll be asked to give a whopping 800,000. It is not a small money. We are society, and that is why I'm saying I am talking to our morals as the people. Morals. Because when you talk to your inner moral, we'll be able to vindicate you. When we are bringing a motion to this House, Honorable Speaker, it is not for us to be very detailed. All of us have gone to school. If I have said Article 232 was divided, it is for honorable members to take the pen to read and even go to the library and understand what does that article speak to us. That is the law. Because we all of us may not be lawyers, but we speak to that constitution through reading. And if I don't understand as Karen, I will go to somebody next to me and ask, can you kindly help me understand this article? Because we cannot bring a motion that is so detailed that is going to speak everything in that motion. I talk in this house painfully. I met the boy, the one Dennis, because I was a second of this motion. And the pain that man went through explaining to me. He had to sell a salon in Nairobi. The wife had to come home so that they were anticipating that they are going to get this job. And we stand here saying it is business as usual and we need a detailed report. Honorable Governor, Deputy Governor, I am pleading with you. Your name is at stake, and even the church. But we wish, and I pray very hard, that you are able to vindicate yourself in this matter. I rest my case.
Yes, Honorable Ismail. Honorable Ismail, your chance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I had raised up my hand for a point of information, and I pleaded to my colleagues that whenever we are contributing, we address the chair, not the gallery or any other member.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I also stand to oppose this motion on the following grounds, Honorable Speaker. The motion is not properly in the House, Mr. Speaker. We do the role of oversight, Honorable Speaker. And because we are handling a very sensitive matter here before us, we are going to charge a person, we are going to remove a person from his office. According to our standing order number 60, Mr. Speaker, it clearly states on how we are going to conduct this business. Honorable Speaker, after the notice of motion was moved, we presumed that the motion had met all the requirement, the threshold for it to get its way into the House. As we stand here and we did complain last time, by the time we have done this before, we had moved, even me personally, I had moved a motion here to remove a person from office. Whenever you, because it is wrong and through the standing order number 60, you have to move with all the particulars so that the members can have time to go through those particulars, especially like now, we haven't received the list of those tag of the members that supported this motion. It is not there. Not there. Honorable Speaker, number 2, that is a technicality that I want to put this motion or also it down and through your chair. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, the motion through the same standing order requires that it be disposed within 10 days. 7 days notice, and during this time, we could have formed the ad hoc committee. The ad hoc committee was supposed to do the purported public participation, and I'm going to ask how you are going to admit that evidence from the ground. Currently, it is not here, and I don't know at what point you are going to administer it here or admit it before the House for our use. Number 3, after the mover has moved the motion and it has been proposed, we are given 3 days to dispose that motion. Honorable Speaker, the motion was moved on 21st. 2 weeks or 1 week down the line, the notice of motion was given, and you did give us the 7 days notice, which erupts on 21st, when actually the motion was moved. Honorable Speaker, from there, then again you give another 7 days, contrary to our standing orders. Honorable Speaker, you said that we follow the law and the standing orders. That's why I'm saying that the motion is improper in the House and it has to be struck down. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bade.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to contribute. From the onset, I rise to oppose this motion. Honorable Speaker, Article 181 of the Constitution gives this Assembly quasi-judicial powers. And in law, he who seeks equity must come to equity with clean hands. The purported person whom Honorable Monda was asking for a bribe from has committed a crime he himself. He has given a bribe. Under Section 1 of the Bribery Act, giving a bribe is a criminal offense. This House should therefore not have allowed these allegations before us, because the person who has come to seek for justice from us, he himself was committing a crime, if that is the case. Honorable Speaker, I've listened to my good friends from the other side who are supporting this debate. They are calling on us to look into our conscience. They are asking us to interrogate our conscience. I also want to ask them to interrogate their conscience, because I know that even within their conscience, what they have presented before us, even Honorable Future, what you presented before us, you know that you are not the author of this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Pidota, yes, point of order, Rita.
Thank you, Speaker, for avoidance of doubt. My name is Muracha Henry, member of County Assembly Basi Central and also the Majority Leader, Kisii County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I'm standing under Standing Order number 87 for the Honorable Member, Honorable Barrow, who has said that Honorable Socha knows that he is not the author of the motion. Mr. Speaker, he needs to be responsible for what he has said, or else he withdraws immediately. And if he knows the author of the motion, Mr. Speaker, let him name the author of the motion before this assembly right now, or else, Mr. Speaker, if he cannot name the author, who he from donors to the Deputy Governor,
I think those information are with us, so there's no need of.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, kindly proceed. Honorable, kindly proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I first of all, for purposes of my name is Karen Magara. I'm a special elect in this House. And I want to, first of all, before I respond to what I want to say, my Honorable Member, Honorable Lillian, has said that when we are in this House, we are only confined to three things. Our duties as our House is to legislate, oversight, and represent. I don't understand what representation therefore means when it's clearly distributed that those that cannot be able to access this House, we can be able to speak for them. So I am correcting that we don't not only do legislation alone and represent, but the interests of our electorates call upon us to take responsibility. Number two, I want to respond to Honorable Amos. It doesn't matter. I don't know whether we have a given structure that a person can complain. I can complain in a market. I can complain in a church, so long as I feel that whatever I find in this church or in this public market, I is going to listen to me and therefore address my issue. So I'm only calling ourselves that let us restrain ourselves, because when we talk about representation, we are not only talking about stating in this House alone. It is then for the those that are outside there. Now back to the motion, Honorable Speaker. I I want first of all to underscore the purpose of morals. Even before I talk about integrity, before I talk about what I do as a person, I am first referring ourselves to morals. I am not standing here to judge the deputy governor. I am calling against myself and pleading with the members that indeed this is a very important motion before us, and that this requires a lot of sobriety. And therefore that emphasizes the point that I want to say that the Honorable Deputy Governor, when he shall be standing here, he shall be able to take us through the process and convince some of us that being a church elder, he cannot stoop too low to take a bribe. That is what I am calling about the members, that when he stands to speak and defend himself, he should be able to tell us, some of us will not be able to have 800,000 to bribe. An MCA salary is 86,000. When I stand here and my child wants an employment and I'll be asked to give a whopping 800,000, it is not a small money. We are society, and that is why I'm saying I am talking to our morals as the people. Morals. Because when you talk to your inner moral, we'll be able to vindicate you. When we are bringing a motion to this House, Honorable Speaker, it is not for us to be very detailed. All of us have gone to school. If I have said Article 232 was divided, it is for honorable members to take the pen, to read, and even go to the library and understand what does that article speak to us. That is the law. Because all of us may not be lawyers, but we speak to that constitution through reading, and if I don't understand as Karen, I will go to somebody next to me and ask, can you kindly help me understand this article? Because we cannot bring a motion that is so detailed that is going to speak everything in that motion. I talk in this house painfully. I met the boy, the one Dennis, because I was a second of this motion. And the pain that man went through explaining to me. He had to sell a salon in Nairobi. The wife had to come home so that they were anticipating that they are going to get this job. And we stand here saying it is business as usual and we need a detailed report. Honorable Governor, Deputy Governor, I am pleading with you. Your name is at stake, and even the church. But we wish, and I pray very hard, that you are able to vindicate yourself in this matter. I rest my case.
Yes, Honorable Ismail. Honorable Ismail, your chance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I had raised up my hand for a point of information, and I plead to my colleagues that whenever we are contributing, we address the chair, not the gallery or any other member.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I also stand to oppose this motion on the following grounds, Honorable Speaker. The motion is not properly in the House, Mr. Speaker. We do the role of oversight, Honorable Speaker. And because we are handling a very sensitive matter here before us, we are going to charge a person, we are going to remove a person from his office. According to our standing order number 60, Mr. Speaker, it clearly states on how we are going to conduct this business. Honorable Speaker, after the notice of motion was moved, we presumed that the motion had met all the requirement, the threshold for it to get its way into the House. As we stand here and we did complain last time, by the time we have done this before, we had moved, even me personally, had moved a motion here to remove a person from office. Whenever you, because it is wrong and through the standing order number 60, you have to move with all the particulars. so that the members can have time to go through those particulars, especially like now, we haven't received the list of all those part of the members that supported this motion. It is not there. Not there. Honorable Speaker, number two, that is a technicality that I want to put this motion in, or also it down, and through your chair. Number two, Honorable Speaker, the motion through the same standing order requires that it be disposed within 10 days. 7 days notice, and during this time, we could have formed the ad hoc committee. The ad hoc committee was supposed to do the purported public participation, and I'm going to ask how you are going to admit that evidence from the ground. Currently, it is not here, and I don't know at what point you are going to administer it here or admit it before the House for our use. Number three, after the mover has moved the motion and it has been proposed, we are given 3 days to dispose that motion. Honorable Speaker, the motion was moved on 21st. 2 weeks or 1 week down the line, the notice of motion was given, and you did give us the 7 days notice, which erupts on 21st, when actually the motion was moved. Honorable Speaker, from there,